Greetings, Nick with Sweetwater here, and today we'll be taking a quick listen and look at the Soldano Astro-20 amp, which incidentally is made in the good old USA. This 20-watt all-tube amp boasts 3 channels, a programmable 4-way LED foot switch, built-in low-latency IRs, free software, MIDI, a transparent series effects loop, and a bunch of other cool guitarist-friendly goodies too, including cabless operation, which is perfect for studio work or for those pesky silent stage situations we're all subjected to nowadays. It also has an XLR balanced output and a headphone output too, both of which carry the IR cab signal. Should you wish it to, of course. If you don't, you can disengage said IRs. The Astro-20 is available as either a head or a 1x12 combo, and it's incredibly intuitive. It must be. I mean, I sussed out how to use it without looking at the manual, and I'm no rocket scientist, that's for sure. Guitarist friendly indeed. I'm going to quickly run you through the Astro-20's features, then I'm going to bring on my friend Don Carr to play a few sounds and then have a chat with him. Then, to wrap this video up, I'm going to be joined by the man behind this sonic masterpiece, the one, the only Mike Soldano, so definitely stay tuned for that segment. I'm playing through the Astro-20 head, which is driving this 1x12 Soldano cab loaded with a vintage 30, and by the way, it's closed back. As for the Astro-20 1x12 combo, it boasts all the same features, but is loaded with a Celestion G12M greenback speaker. As mentioned, the Astro-20 is an all-tube amp, and said tubes are as follows: 4 12AX7s plus a pair of 6v6 power tubes. In addition to delivering the world-famous cascaded gain Soldano lead overdrive sound, this 3-channel head also offers 3 other Galaxies of tonal possibilities. Clean, plus a pair of beautiful crunch options, blue and purple. The blue Galaxy goes all the way from, wait for it, bluesy push cleans, all the way to fat hard rock tones. As for purple, that one goes from driving hard rock to a really tight, punchy high gain sound. And just so you know, clean lives in the green Galaxy, while the overdrive lives in red. If you're confused by all this Galaxy talk, by the way, don't fret. All will become clear in a minute, I promise. Let's take a quick tour of the Astro-20's front panel, shall we? Going from left to right, we have the following. First and foremost, the amp's input jack. Then the volume and tone controls for the clean channel. Just so you know, whenever the clean channel is selected, the little white light LED just below its volume control lights up, just like this. Dun dun dun! As already mentioned, the clean channel resides in the green Galaxy, and whenever it's selected, the Galaxy display on the far right of the front panel glows a wonderful green. The clean channel's tone control adjusts the amount of high, mids and treble within said channel. And as you can see, just below the clean channel's 2 controls, there's also a mini 3-way toggle switch that offers 2 different treble boost levels for your clean sound, with the middle position being off, no treble boost whatsoever. Next up is a mini toggle switch labeled channel that allows you to, wait for it, yep, you've guessed it, switch between the amp's 3 channels. It also doubles as a store button for the supplied foot switch. More about that in a few minutes. We then have gain controls for channels 1 and channel 2. Gain 1 is for channel 1, while gain 2 is, yep, you've guessed it, for channel 2. Duh! And then, right below them, we have a mini toggle switch labeled Galaxy. This allows you to select either the blue, purple, or red tonal Galaxy for each channel. And both channels can reside in the same Galaxy if you so wish, by the way. And once again, the Galaxy LED at the far right of the panel shows you the tonal Galaxy you selected for channels 1 and 2. Next up are the usual suspect trio of tone controls, namely bass, middle and treble. These are shared by channels 1 and 2. They are then followed by 2 independent volume controls, one for channel 1, the other for channel 2. And Just like the clean channel, a little white LED below each one of these volume controls will light up whenever said channel is selected. Channel 1 and Channel 2. The final two knobs in our front panel tour are the self-explanatory master volume and presence controls, and they do exactly what you expect them to do. The mini toggle switch below them, labeled depth, gives you a trio of low-end oomph settings in the power amp. Then finally, we come to the Galaxy display, which lights up green for clean, and then, as you've already seen, either blue, purple, or red for channels 1 and 2, depending on which one of the Galaxies you've selected for each one. But wait, my friend, there's more to this light. A lot more, and it's really cool. Can you see the 6 little planets that surround each galaxy? Just so you know, each one represents a different embedded cab IR. And to move them around, I just hit the mini toggle switch on the far right, labeled, wait for it, cabinet. Just like this. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat indeed. As mentioned earlier, the balanced XLR and headphone outputs both carry the IR-infused signal. But if I want to bypass the IRs altogether on those two outputs, I just hold the cab switch until the outer star light of the Galaxy goes off. Just like this. Now the IRs are completely off. That said, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to switch them back on by doing the same exact thing again. IR back in. Nice. Just so you know, the Astro comes preloaded with 12 cabinet IRs, and the 6 that get called up right out of the box include 4 great sounding 4x12s and 2 2x12s as well. The description of each IR cabinet and also the mic pairings used on each one can be found in the handy dandy Astro-20 manual. And, as said, there's more still. By using the free USB editing software, you can swap out these internally embedded 6 IRs and also load up your own if you so wish. That's pretty cool. Just so you know, my 4-guitar intro was done solely using the IRs that come with the Astro, and I did the intro using the head all by itself, thanks to the aforementioned cabless operation capability, which is great, especially for home recording late at night. We'll take a lightning quick tour of the Astro's back panel in a second. First though, let me quickly explain how the programmable 4-way LED foot switch the unit comes with works. To be precise, this bad boy is actually a 4-way MIDI foot switch that will work with any MIDI device, by the way. And just so you know, it comes with a really nice long cable too. Perfect for those big stages I know you're going to be playing on. That said, here's how you program this cute little sucker. First, I select the foot switch number I want to program, and I'm going to do number 1, which right now is calling up the clean channel green. But I want to change it because I'm that kind of guy. So what I want to do is this. I want to decide what channel, what tonal galaxy and IR I want to store to it. So let's go with channel 1 in the purple galaxy with IR number 5. So let's do that right now. First off, I select channel 1 via the handy dandy channel switch. Then I select the purple galaxy via the Galaxy switch. Then I want to select my IR. So now I go to the channel/program switch and hold it until the Galaxy goes white like that. Now, every time I hit foot switch button 1, I'll always call up channel 1 in the purple galaxy with the IR I chose, until of course I decide to reprogram the foot switch. Want proof? Well look. This one calls up channel 2 in the red domain with a different IR. I want to go back to where I came from. Dun dun dun, number 1, set. And I can obviously do the same for the other 3 foot switches, and if I want, I can put them all on the same darn channel in the same galaxy, just with different IRs, if that's how I want to roll. It's up to you. You can have green, 2 reds, a purple, green, 2 blues, a red, whatever. It's up to you. Oh, and just so you know, the only things that are saved in the foot switch are the channel, galaxy, and IR. The knob settings are up to you. They're not saved. Also, this same simple save method works with all 128 MIDI numbers, should you decide to go with an all-singing, all-dancing MIDI rig. And once again, I can use my handy-dandy Astro USB editor to do all my programming remotely, all the way up to 128 different numbers if I so wish. Now it's time, as promised, for a quick rear panel tour, and then you'll be glad to hear I'm going to hand over to Don for some much better playing examples. Here we are at the back panel. Going from left to right, we have the following. First up, we have the AC mains input and power switch. Then we have inputs for the two following things: the supplied Footswitch cable, which is a MIDI cable, and then also USB for the aforementioned editing software. Then next to that, we have the XLR balanced output and also a headphone jack with a level control as well. Very, very handy. Then next we come to the send and return jacks for the amp's transparent series effects loop, followed by 5 speaker outputs for the various impedances you'll be plugging the amp into. And there you have it, my friend. Enough of my yabbling and bad playing, over to my pal Don. So Don, thanks for showing my meager talent top once again. What do you think of this darn thing? It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it is so impressive, man. The first thing I noticed right out of the gate was just that it's so even. I mean, all the channels are even within themselves, with each other, all sonically all the way across the spectrum. Man, just so even.
Yeah, and that's rare with multi-channel amps. There's normally a jump. But this one, like you said, like in my intro, I went green, purple, blue, red, and I didn't have to do any silly knob tweaking. It was just there. No deep diving, no nothing, just plug in and play. Oh, that sounds good. Save it to the Footswitch. See ya.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just, and that's the other thing is it's so easy. And I love, I'm a big fan of any kind of gear like this. It first of all makes my job easier, but you know, especially amps, because one of the things that's really hard with amps is getting them to truly speak. And this, no matter what voice you choose, the lower gain, the mid gain, the higher gain, the clean, all the voices really speak. I mean, really speak, you know?
Yeah, I would say my only problem with this amp is I keep forgetting I'm supposed to learn how to play it, because you just set it anywhere and it sounds great, and then an hour later it's like, oh, I'm supposed to check something else out. But that's a good thing, because an amplifier or a guitar or a pedal should inspire you to play, and I can tell you, this one does, for me anyway, even though you can't tell from my playing, but it's inspirational. So once again, my friend, thanks for doing this, and I'm going to call you back in a minute to have you play out, because you're better than me, darn it. So
Nick,
that's
you're
it.
too nice, man.
Get off the set so
right.
Mike Soldano can come in. Thanks you, sir. Man. So, folks, as you've just heard and seen, this is an amazingly flexible amp. To my humble opinion, it's a perfect combination of analog tone with digital control, giving you the best of both worlds, if you will. So, Mr. Soldano, thank you so much for joining us once again. This is Mike Soldano, by the way. Pray tell, what was the inspiration behind doing this wonderful merging of analog and digital technology?
Well, as you know, I am a huge proponent of whatever the next thing is,
right,
as far as, making stuff more usable, keeping it current, everything else. So this amp is all of my original DNA. It's all tube, everything, but it now has IR capability and MIDI control to make it current with what players today want and need. So just as with my X99 preamplifier, ages ago, I paired up with somebody who knew more about the digital realm than I did to make that part work. Right. And we came up with a brilliant way of integrating IR technology, MIDI control, and making it easy to use, like no manuals required, no screens, no scrolling.
No deep
You walk
dives.
up to the amp and it can do what you need it to do. And the thing is, you want to be able to create your art and play music. You don't want to have to learn how to, write code and be a digital engineer. You don't want that. You want to be able to just walk up the amp and get those sounds. And so we did that with this amp. And then to further point out, it has my total love of 1950s and 60s B-movie sci-fi just oozing through it, just
it's great.
Like I've always liked. And so, what's not to like about it, right?
No, I love the fact you can use the head cabless, which is how I did the intro.
Yes.
Plugged straight into a DAW, recorded my 4 tracks. Sounds amazing. And like you said, to me, the great thing is when you set all the controls at 12, which is typical of your DNA, everything sounds great. I could play a gig with all the controls at 12, actually, just changing channels. And I can read, folks, I promise, but I did not read the manual because it's intuitive. Yeah. The only thing I would say is this can, as I said earlier, use all 128 MIDI control numbers if you so wish. So you could have 128 combinations of channels with IRs and various Galaxies. But in all honesty, I think I said this before, I'm going to say it again. If you feel the urge, if you feel you need 128 sounds, do me a huge favor. Check into rehab right now because you've got a problem. But anyway, Mike, thanks so much for creating another one of your gems. I love the fact it's got the blue channel, which kind of sits between green and purple. So you've got this wonderful bridge from clean to not quite as clean to definitely not clean to extremely dirty.
Yeah.
And you can meld them each so they flow together perfectly.
Yeah, we wanted to give it that whole range. You know, take every tone that I've ever created and just link them together from mellow to wild.
Mission accomplished, sir.
Thank
you
you
very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
There you have it, my friend, the incredibly versatile and toneful Soldano Astro-20. As just discussed with my friend Don, it's fat, full and satisfyingly toneful at any volume. The embedded IRs are great, and it's super intuitive to program the Footswitch as well. Plus, like all great amps, in my humble opinion, it sounds wonderful with all the controls set to 12 o'clock. And what a great starting point for dialing in your own tone that truly is. If you have any questions about the Astro-20 or any other Soldano product for that matter, please go to sweetwater.com, or better still, contact your oh-so-friendly sales engineer. That said, I'm out of here. Don, please come back and play us out. So see ya!